Hello, ladies of the Queen's Journey from brokenness to wholeness. Hello, good afternoon, you amazing rich queens out there. I just wanted to come on here and do this live ignited conscious video. And this particular video that I am going to be sharing with you today is all about moving in purpose and knowing that now is the time. Now is the time to do that. So this is part one. Part one is focusing on the overall theme for the month of June, which once again, I said that it is time to move in purpose. So for those of you who do not know me, I am Andrea, the Vision Igniter. And my goal is to help women who have faced emotional trauma and brokenness and those who are ready to close that chapter of their life so that you can go to the next chapter that is full of wholeness. This is the place where you regain your queen consciousness and you begin to take your power back and readjust your crown, okay? So, I usually do these videos for a queen's journey to wholeness, which is a group of amazing women who are just ready for change. And I also upload these to my YouTube channel, which is the Ignite Your Vision TV. Okay, so that is the place where queen conscious women can come and regain their sense of self-confidence and worth, realign with their divine purpose, and rediscover their hidden treasures so that they can overcome those limiting beliefs and get unstuck so that you can reclaim your power. Okay, so let's see here. Once again, I am Andrea, the Vision Igniter. I am a spiritual empowerment coach, and I'm also the creator of A Queen's Journey to Reclaim Your Crown from Brokenness to Wholeness. And so we are going to get right into this because I don't want to take up too much of your time. We just want to be straight to the point. But the theme, as I said before, is about focusing on understanding that it is time to move in purpose. This is an action statement that is an additional part to the overall theme for the year of 2020, which is the theme of the butterfly. Okay, and every month beginning from January leading all the way up until this moment in time right here has been a story that has been playing in the background. And my prayer is that as we continue to progress through the rest of this year, that God just begins to speak to you right where you're at. Even though each month there is a theme, it doesn't matter when you go back to watch the video. Whatever videos resonate with you, I highly encourage overall to watch them all. But whatever videos resonate with you, I believe when you go to watch it, that it is for you at that moment in time when you hear the message. Okay. So with that being said, you can find all those videos here within A Queen's Journey to Brokenness, or from Brokenness to Wholeness, in the video section of this particular group, Facebook group. And then you can also find all of the videos in the in the Ignited Conscious playlist on Ignite Your Vision TV's YouTube channel. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to start with a few scriptures. The first one is in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and it says, "And we know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and who have been called according to his purpose." And then we have Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5, and it says, "The purpose of a person's heart are deep waters." Okay, but one who has insight draws them out. Then we have 1 Peter 2 and 9, which is my absolute favorite scripture, one of them. And it says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness, brokenness, into his wonderful light, which is wholeness." Okay, and so we are going to just take this time right now to break this message down. Okay, so we're going to start with the word time. Okay, time simply means the favorable or appropriate time to do something, the right moment. Okay, it's a moment or definite portion of time that is allotted, used, or suitable for a purpose. Okay, and that word, some of the synonyms for that word are moment, occasion, hour, stage, and phase. So I'm going to go through what those words mean. So moment means a very brief period of time. And this particular aspect of this synonym of the word time really resonates with me because I did a video, and I want to say that it was back in the month of March. Let me look at my notes here. Yes, it was in the month of March. I shared with you all about, or I covered in that video about a vision that I had at the age of 5. And the Lord, there was a visitation that I had, and the Lord told me that He's coming back for the purging of His birds so they won't be lost. So speed up to this time as where we're at right now. And with all of the things that are going on in this, our entire world, from the pandemic to the civil unrest in our nation, it really is pressing upon me because it ties back into the message where God laid upon my heart to bring this back into the forefront. Okay, and understanding the times. If you are one who has taken the time to read your word, to understand prophecies and things like that, it is so important to pay attention to the times that we are living in. And as it relates to the Lord's return, it is so vital and so important for us to make sure that we are paying attention to the time and that we understand that purpose has to be fulfilled. Your whole reason and intent for being here in this plane and in this realm and this dimension called Earth is because you've been sent here with a mission. You have been sent here on purpose, and you are responsible for fulfilling it and for playing it out. Okay, you are responsible to discover what that is. Okay, and truth be told, our time on earth is but a vapor. You know, you can be here today and gone tomorrow. You know, if you have children and you've seen your kids grow from birth until, you know, they've grown older, you'll realize, wow, you know, they grew up right before my eyes, right? Well, that's a brief amount of time, okay? And so I know the Lord was also laying on my heart and sharing with me that He's coming soon, okay? But before He returns, there's certain things that have to happen at its appointed time. And the word tells us that when they say peace and safety, after that moment where they say it's peaceful and it's safe, you know, after a certain period of time after that, then sudden destruction is going to come. But at the same time, simultaneously, God is up to something and He has a plan too. But you want to make sure that you are found doing what God has called you to do. Okay? I can stay right there and go on and on and on, but I'm going to just continue to pull it all home here, okay? So then our next word is occasion. An occasion is a particular time or instance of an event, okay? It's a suitable or opportune time for doing something. And so that something, once again, is your purpose, okay? Hour really resonated with me also, and the word means a fixed period of time for an activity such as work or a particular point in time, okay? And so as it relates to the condition and the state that we're in right now as a human collective, you know, there's a fixed period of time, you know, for us to begin to work on our healing, for us to begin to come up higher and ascend to a higher level of thinking, a higher level of being, to come out of a place of being broken and in a low vibration, and really begin to just elevate and ascend, which basically means come up higher to that higher place in God where you are whole, okay, and you are no longer broken, and you are no longer being tormented by your past or the traumas and all the other things that are in your past, okay? So then we also have the word stage, and stage simply means a point, period, or step in a process or development to present a performance of a set of activities. These set of activities are the steps that need to be put in place. These are goals that need to be set. These are actions that need to be made in order to get to the end result. Well, the end result is fulfilling purpose. The end result is fulfilling your getting to your destination. Your end result is fulfilling destiny, being in alignment with destiny, okay? So that you can have that moment to have the okay from God that says, well done, my good and faithful servant, okay? So then we also have this word called phase, which is also attached to the word time, okay? So phase is a distinct period or stage in a series of events or process of change or development, okay? And so one thing I can say is life can develop you. Life can throw you some curves and some blows that you weren't expecting. And these the process of the development can come from real life experiences. We learn lessons along the way. You might have been broken, you might have experienced unhealthy relationships, but the question is, have you learned the lessons that come from being impacted by these situations, okay? And if you have not, now is the time to go inward, to do a heart check, to see and examine, okay, have I really taken the time to really hone in and to see, okay, what can I do to come into alignment? What can I do to begin to position myself for the things that God really has for me, for his best for me, okay? So now we're going to shift. We're going to talk about the word move. Move simply means to go in a specific direction or manner, or to change position, okay? Make progress, develop in a particular manner or direction. It means a change of pace. It means position or state. It means one's turn to make a change of position, okay? It means an action that initiates or advances a process or a plan. And so one thing that I can say is that due to this pandemic, it has forced change, okay? It has forced people to re-examine themselves, especially during this time of being quarantined, okay, or shut in, okay? It has literally forced people to have to reassess their life to see, what have I been doing all this time? Like, am I really happy on this job that I've been in? Is maybe now is the time for me to leave this job. Maybe now is the time for me to go seek out and do something different, or maybe now is the time for me to start, moving forward on that big idea that I had, but I've always kind of been scared to do it. For some of us, we're being forced into purpose. We're being thrusted into purpose, not even by our own doings, but simply because the pandemic has activated what I would like to call being kicked out of the eagle's nest, right? Getting you outside of your comfort zone, okay? To begin now moving and being put on the right path where you're literally going to excel. And once you start to come into alignment with what it is that God really wants you to do, you'll begin to literally unlock the keys or utilize the keys of the kingdom and begin to unlock the blessings that come from the kingdom, okay? And they begin to start manifesting in your life, okay? So with that word, move, we have the synonyms: go, walk, proceed, progress, abundant or advance, stir, shift, make a move, make headway, develop, movement, and action. Okay, so go means to move forward from one place to another. It also means, give me 1 second here, it means used to suggest that someone has achieved a state or position easily. Okay, and that word means to walk. Okay, it also means to guide, accompany, or escort someone. So in this process of moving in purpose, sometimes it may require you to um, be accompanied by someone in a collaboration. Okay, in a collaboration. So I'm gonna put this plug in. Right now, I'm in a collaboration with friends that I've known for over 15 years. And so now we have come together to share our story. And we're talking about the common theme of emotional wellness. Okay. And we're talking about securing your happy place. And so now, when it relates to emotional wellness, we were able to pull from certain words that we talk about in this book, words like gratitude, joy, happiness, anticipation, community, and all these different kinds of things. And so now we can leverage the collective experiences of one another to make a powerful tool that we can share with our audience, right? The people who are connected to us, okay? And they can peek into our lives and they can learn from us, okay? And so I shared that to say that that's as an example of being accompanied or escorted, okay, in purpose as you move, okay? And so when God begins to divinely connect you and divinely bring people on your path, take heed, take notice, okay? Sometimes you can have a collaboration as it relates to your healing. Sometimes you need to come into a collaboration or you need to come into an agreement with a support system, such as being part of a support group or being part or engaging in help from a therapist or a psychologist or counseling, to aid you in your healing process or ascension process. Also, getting a coach, getting a coach that specializes in the area where you need help. Because when you have the right things in place, it makes your ability to achieve your end result a lot easier. Okay. It cuts time frames in half. It helps you to avoid pitfalls that you can't see on your own, but it helps to bring to the limelight or to the surface the things that you need to pay attention to. Okay. So our other word here is proceed. And let me backtrack for a minute. But soon I will be sharing with you all about that ebook and how you can purchase that ebook and add it to your collection or your library as another tool or resource that you can use to aid you in your collaborative effort of working on your healing. Okay. So now moving along, our next word is proceed. Proceed simply means begin or continue to a course of action, okay? To start a lawsuit against someone. As it relates to the things that we have been talking about from January leading up until this moment, we talked about sometimes, there's some things that you have to let go of. There are some people and some relationships, some business deals that are beyond their season. There may be too much butting of the heads going on. You may have people who you're working with or you're in partnership with or joined to where you just simply don't mix. You're like oil and water. Okay. And so sometimes you have to assess, why is this person in my life or why is this connection here? And sometimes people are in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so we have to take that time to assess the people who are around us, okay? And making sure that the people who are around us are in alignment with the direction that we are trying to move into. So then we have Advance. Okay, advance means to make or cause to make progress. It means to move forward in a purposeful way. Okay, I think that speaks for itself. Then we have the word stir. It means to rise or awaken from sleep. Okay, and so during this time of being quarantined and all these things going on and all the unrest in the human collective, it is literally shaking things up and forcing people to awaken from those who have been oppressive, awaking from the hands of the enemy that has kept you in shackles, who has robbed you and stolen from you, awaken to this sleep of just being okay with being comfortable, right? Awaking from sleep of being lethargic and procrastinating and putting things off till tomorrow, when okay, wait a minute, I'm only here for a short amount of time and I am responsible for fulfilling an assignment, right? So that requires you to be on the move. It requires you to get out of your comfort zone. It requires things to be stirred up, okay, in order to activate the things that need to be brought into your reality to help you to get to the next level, okay? And then we have the word make a move. Make a move. It just simply means that. Take action. Leave from one place to go to another. Okay. So then we have the word make headway, which means make forward or to make progress, especially when circumstances make this slow or difficult. It's the average interval of time between vehicles moving in the same direction and on the same route. Okay, and what I want to point out here is you still have to make headway. You have to move forward or make progress when circumstances are difficult. Okay, and I made a post on my Facebook page that simply said, moving with God, you have to move with God even when it doesn't make sense, S-E-N-S-E, and when it doesn't make C-E-N-T-S. Okay? You got to move with God. It's not always going to be easy to move with God in faith because it's going to challenge your logical mind when it comes to moving with God. Sometimes you'll hear him speak to you and sometimes you're like, oh my God, in reality, this does make no sense whatsoever, right? But you still have to be obedient. You still have to move with God because even though you may not see what's ahead of you, which is the unknown, you have to know and understand that if God has given you a specific set of instructions, evidently he's got the rest of it covered. That how he's about to do it is none of our business. We just have to trust that God, as long as I'm in alignment with you and I'm following you, God, that evidently you've got things in my past that I'm not even aware of, but you've already got that part figured out. And I just have to learn how to totally surrender and totally trust you, Lord. Okay. So then we have the next word, which is develop. It means to grow or cause to grow and become more mature. Advance. It means to elaborate. It means to start, to exist, experience, or possess, right? It is your time to now possess the things that God has promised you. It is your time to possess the life, to own the life, to have the life, experience the life that God says that you can rightfully experience, okay? It is not God's will for you to continue in a state of chaos, a state of brokenness, a state of unhealthy relationships, in a state of being toxic. That is not God's will for you. Okay, it is not for his will for you to stay somewhere that's going to keep you from growing, keep you from thriving, keep you from experiencing the abundance that he has waiting just for you. Okay, so then we have the word movement. That means a change or development, an act of changing physical locations or position or having things changed. Okay, movement requires putting one foot in front of the other. It doesn't even matter if it's a baby step, because steps compounded over time become monumental steps. Okay, so then we have the word action. And action means the fact or process of doing something, typically to achieve a aim. It's a gesture, it's a movement, it's a legal process. It could be a lawsuit. Okay, it requires action. Okay, action in God. Things are constantly things are, there's movement in God. Even in being still, there's movement in God. There's movement in God. Okay, but you have to follow him all the way through. Okay, so now we're going to shift into the word purpose. Purpose simply means the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something even exists. It's a person's sense of resolve or determination. It's a particular requirement or consideration, typically one that is temporary or restricted in scope or extent. Now, the synonyms for this word is motivation, determination, resolution, decide, propose, set out, aspire, desire, set one's sights on, have in view. Okay, so we're going to start with the word motivation. Motivation is the reason that one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. Okay, so when you begin to understand what your purpose is, it can bring you a sense of motivation, um, to want better, to do better, to know that, hey, if I align myself and get in position and stay in position, guess what? Like my life can literally be transformed 180 degrees simply because I am in alignment with what God wants. I am in alignment with um, everything that He wants to manifest in my life. Okay. Then we have the word determination. Determination means firmness of purpose, resoluteness, the controlling or deciding of something's nature or outcome. It means the settlement of a dispute by the authoritative decision of a judge or arbitrator. Okay, so I love that part that says firmness of purpose. Okay, so when you are moving in purpose, that means you're firm, you know what it is, you know what it's about, you have clarity. Okay, it is sort of like your GPS. It helps to navigate you in your decision making. It also helps you to begin to make necessary goals, um, action steps to achieve those goals, right? And then when you back that up by right action, then you're going to get the results that you were looking for. Okay. Let's see here. So we have the word resolution. Resolution means a firm decision to do or not to do something. It means the quality of being determined or resolute. And so as it relates to your purpose, you can't let anything, no relationship, not a person, um, any type of distraction that keeps you, that takes away from your life, right? Those are distractions. You have to make a firm decision, come hell and high water. I don't care who or what, wants to try to come on my path to distract me. I'm making a firm decision that I am going to fulfill what I have been sent here to do. Okay, because the distractions are going to come. The blows of life are going to come. Okay, they're going to come, and they're going to come to try to deter you and to get you off track so that you can lose the number one resource that you can't get back, and that is time. Okay, so we have to be very careful in what we allow ourselves to entertain, because a lot of things that we entertain are wasting our time, which is something, like I said before, that we can't get back. So then we have the word, let's see, decide. Okay, and that goes hand in hand with the word resolution. Decide means to come to a resolution, okay, in the mind as a result of consideration, meaning I've considered everything that this is going to take, and I am making a firm decision. Okay, it means to make a choice from a number of alternatives. It means to come to decision about something, making up in my mind. I'm in it and I'm all in. I'm all in. I don't have one foot in and one foot out. I don't have a plan B because I am all in to the fact that I am coming into alignment and agreement for why I'm here in the first place. So if I just do that part, everything that I need is going to be supplied. Everything that I need is going to be accounted for. Like everything that I need is going to be taken care of simply because I've entered into the driver's seat of alignment that now begins to just guide me through to my destination. Okay, so now we have the word propose. Propose means to put forward an idea or a plan for consideration or discussion by others, to make an offer. It could be a marriage to someone. It can be a contract or an agreement with someone of a business deal. Okay, like propose. So for example, if you have a vision or you have some type of service or business or product or something that you can collaborate with another business owner, you could propose, have a business proposal, right? And share that with those who are in business that you can potentially go into partnership with. And it can become a perfect marriage, whether it's in business, right, of a partnership, or same thing, who knows it. Say for instance, you've been in a broken relationship and God tells you to end that, and now it's time to move forward in your healing and go forward in wholeness. And who knows, you can be presented with a proposal, okay, of what God really had intended for you all along. But because you've been in a relationship that has kept you, that has hindered you, right? It has hindered you from even being in position to get to the thing that God wants. You haven't been able to receive it. But sometimes moving with God requires us to let one thing go so that we can release the weight, release the baggage and the hindrances, and properly position ourselves to be in 100% alignment and dialed in with what it is that God is trying to get to you. Okay, so then we have this part here. Set one sight on. Okay, set your sight on. That means to have an ambition. It means to have hope strongly to achieve or to reach something, reach a goal. So that ambition is the drive. Like that ambition can be derived from a why that makes you cry. Okay, the why is like the gasoline, right, that keeps the fire going. Right, when you set your eye on something or you set your sight on something, like you were laser focused, you're like, look, I see the light at the end of the tunnel and I know things are going to try to come on my path to try to deter me, slow me down, pull me back, right, pull me in this direction, but I am so determined that I am going to get to the end. Like I'm going to see my vision come to pass. Like I am going to see my goals manifested. Okay, I am going to see the overall big picture come into full manifestation. It's just like carrying a baby. You have your eyes set on the fact that my baby is coming. Okay, and that day is coming where it is going to fully manifest and be in this realm right here, right? It's the same thing as it relates to your purpose. It is the exact same thing. You have to have ambition and know, like, hey, I'm not going to let nothing and nobody stop me. I'm going to detach. I'm going to cut away. I'm going to heal. I'm going to transmute all the trauma of my life as much as I can. I'm going to do the necessary work to cut the strings, to cut the attachments, to let go of the garbage, the BS, the the heavy weights, the burdens, all the stuff that's weighing me down. And I'm going to set my sight on the prize, which is in Christ Jesus. Okay, the prize is of the kingdom. The kingdom is abundant and overflowing, right? And there is so much so much to the full that God wants to get to you. Okay, so you have to have in view, and that's the last word of this section that I'm going through right now. It means have in view, it needs to be visible. So if that means that you have to write it down on paper, if that means you have to create this vision board of what it is that you see in your mind and pull all those pictures together, whether it's on a physical vision board or a vision book or what I like to call a virtual vision board, which can be created on Pinterest, right? And create a board and start pulling in all these images of your desires, of what it is that you want to see manifest in your life. You have to have it visible. You have to have it in front of you, right? So that you can begin to evoke the right emotion, right? Emotion as though it is already done, because in the spirit it is. And so now you're aligning your emotions, you're aligning your vision and your sight, and now all of your senses are engaged to work with God to help manifest the things that He has placed on the inside of you. Okay, so I want to leave you with this word of hope and encouragement to let you know that this is the time. Take this time in June. June just started, okay, y'all? And I'm excited to say, I could have said this earlier, but June is my birthday month. And the reason I say that, my birthday was yesterday, June the 4th. I was so excited and in a state of gratitude. But the reason I celebrate all month is because technically, usually June is the time where there's a lot of graduation parties. And I always, since elementary school, we get the short end of the stick because everybody's off going to graduation parties, this is that and the other. But as I got older, I was like, you know what? Bump it. I'm going to celebrate the whole month. Okay, because if I can't connect with my set of friends over here on my day, then I need to rearrange my schedule to connect with them a little bit later in the month. So I spread it all out and I celebrate all month. So whatever blessings God want to get my way, or whatever blessings I want to give out that month, like it allows me that moment or that opportunity to do that. So, yes, I am one of those ones that celebrates all month. So that is my justification behind that. But I am truly excited to say that I have turned 37 years old, and the Lord just laid on my heart that 37 is an open heaven, okay? And on my birthday, I heard him say that, and actually I heard him say at midnight, it's time. And I knew exactly what that meant. And there was a post that I saw after I heard God speak that word. And there was a post that I saw on Facebook, and it was really, really good. And it says, Queens, the season of deep preparation has passed. It's go time. Your wings are ready. A woman of strength knows how to take the time to prepare herself. She goes into seclusion for a season, if necessary, to gather the strength of God's power to perform what is required. Okay, and so that fell right in line. It was like confirmation. It fell right in line. And when I heard God say it's time, and I heard him say 37 is an open heaven, it started raining later into the day, or kind of mid-afternoon or what have you. And I just felt compelled to run out in the rain, okay? And I heard that song, Let It Rain. I forget who made the song, but it basically says, let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven and let it rain. And the things that came to my mind was let it rain, R-A-I-N, and let it rain, R-E-I-N. Okay, rain means like a shower down, but rain means like take authority, a power, dominion over your life, claim your birthright, claim your power, claim, rule and reign, right? From a position of power, right? It is time to move in purpose, right? And so I also said that as it relates to it being an open heaven, it's not just me. But I really believe that that was a divine moment, or open portal, or the portal A spiritual portal began to open up on yesterday, June the 4th, and a shift has taken place to where God is going to begin to unload his blessings as long as you are in direct alignment with what it is that he desires to do. He's going to get it to you. He's going to start to manifest it in your life. He's going to start, allowing things to be attracted to you, right? That once weren't able to get to you before because you had too many things weighing you down. You had too many distractions. You had too many hindrances. You had too many things that were in the way. You had too many things that were holding and blocking, what it was that God wanted to do in your life, right? But there comes a time and you have to put that to an end. Cycles have to end. When one thing ends or one door closes, a new one begins. When one chapter comes to an end, a new chapter begins. And so that is the time that we're in right now. So I highly encourage you to take the time, get quiet, seek the Lord out on regarding your purpose. If you are unsure of what that is, my schedule is open. We can do a discovery call and we can begin to set some things up to help you to get on the right track, to begin to unravel and discover, also heal, so that you can see clearly what purpose is, how to transform your pain into purpose, okay? So that you can operate from a place of power and get a devil a black eye, okay? And begin to take your life back, okay? And to begin to make some changes and see change manifested in your life. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to get on this live. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Thank you for taking the time to get on this live. And if you're catching it at a replay, just make sure you do #replay and begin to soak it in, rewind it, fast forward, let this word minister to your heart and your soul so that you can begin to move forward in purpose, okay? And so if you are seeing this on YouTube, make sure you like and hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so that you can get the notifications whenever I upload new videos to the channel. But I look forward to seeing you again. And just so you know, this is part 1. So there is another part to this that I am going to be sharing with you, and I'm going to be breaking down what the numbers behind June in the year 2020 represent. So stay tuned for that, but I look forward to connecting with you again.